Another sunny day sort of thing. I've just made up a box here. I may have to shift it over into the sun a bit more. I'll put some polystyrene in it. I'll put it in a ratio of 4 to 7. If you've got fine, really fine polystyrene, the ratio is 2 to 5. If it's like this, it's 3 to 5, but because I've got 7 parts here instead of 5 parts, I'm putting 4 to 7. And you'll notice that it's still keeping the same moisture level, but I think it's going to be better. And so, in other words, it's sort of still semi-stagnated. Now, the reason we're adding the polystyrene for it, there's 2 reasons. One, it acts as if you're adding phosphorus to the box, even though you're not. It acts in a way, and it also has this easy water physical chemical reaction. A physical reaction. It's not a chemical reaction, where it splits the water and you get reductive flammable gas. So it uses the electrostatic properties of the polystyrene, and other plastics do it as well, of course. These sort of plastics. They use the electrostatics of the plastic to actually split the water into gas, basically. So you get this reductive flammable gas permeating up through the medium, and of course on the surface of these polystyrene foam beads you can get organisms growing because they're being bathed in a nice reductive flammable gas atmosphere with all the nutrients around them, you see. So you can be pulling the nutrients out of the peat, and the organisms living on the polystyrene, which has a different pH. I think polystyrene is neutral. Again, paraffin candle wax, which also acts as if you're adding phosphorus to the medium, is again neutral in pH. One of the few things, polystyrene and paraffin candle wax, are some of the few things that actually have a neutral pH, a true grey reading on the universal pH indicator scale. I mean, that's why it's the universal indicator scale, because it really stands out when you get something that's grey. a true grey. There's only a few things, and in my life I've only come across polystyrene. If you get the right sort of polystyrene, it's not been contaminated with something, it's true polystyrene, and paraffin candle wax, if it isn't been adulterated with something to whiten them up, sort of thing. They don't throw in some sort of chalk or titanium oxide or some other sort of zinc oxide or something like that. I mean, if they throw in zinc oxide, it's going to be acidic, you see. So, anyways, I thought you'd just like to know that. So I'll plant some plants in it, and we might get a different response, you see. So, So it's slowly working through the process as we do. But that was basically the work I did over summer, basically. That's all I really got back from the summer experiments, was that paraffin candle wax and polystyrene both act as if you were adding phosphorus to the medium, even though there's no phosphorus in them, basically. It just acts in that way because of the reductive flammable gas. You can see the comparison between acidic phosphate and the hydrogen ion. You can see the parallels there. But anyway, this is a physical reaction rather than a chemical reaction. It physically uses the electrostatics to break the water. But you can go online and see those easy water lectures. And it's not just this plastic, there's other plastics that do it as well. So you might want to investigate that. You might want to think about polythene in your greenhouse. Does that also split the water that settles on its surface, sort of thing? And do you get a nice reductive flammable gas permeating through your... I mean, it's very reactive, of course, so it's not going to build up to great levels, because it's going to react with everything in your greenhouse, of course. So you don't worry about if you're a smoker blowing yourself up. It's not going to build up to high levels because it's so reactive. As soon as it comes off, it's going to react with something, you see. But it does change the